California Constitution, Amendment 1, Section 6, codifies slavery as involuntary servitude. What you got in place is structural discrimination. Nobody knows that they still holding slaves. The narrative is so effective and so impactful that a punishment renders slaves invisible.
In the U.S. Constitution, the 13th Amendment calls out a loophole where if you're incarcerated, you can be forced into labor, essentially allowing for slavery. California has the same sort of loophole, and for the last 8 months, we've been working with legal services for prisoners with children to get the voices of formerly and currently incarcerated people and artists who are wanting to speak out about changing this law and ending slavery in California once and for all. We were meant to start a billboard campaign in December, which at the very last minute was censored by the billboard operators. So instead, we're creating our own billboards. Tonight, we are projecting letters, words, and drawings of incarcerated people talking about being slaves. We are projecting that onto the Capitol and demanding the legislators who do their work there listen to us and give Californians the ability to end slavery in California.
Everybody that comes into the system, you're expected to work at some point in time. You're not working because you chose to, it's because the system is telling you you're gonna work for us in order for this prison system to run. They need all of us to work. You get a work assignment, you're expected to work, and if you don't work, you add 30 days to your sentence, and if you continue not to work, that's 60 days, and they just go on and on.
So what we're talking about is being able to give incarcerated people the right to consent to labor. I think that we all can agree that consent is something that's sacred. When it comes to incarcerated people, for whatever reason, we've left this population vulnerable, and it's kind of like, well, once you're incarcerated, you know, you lose that right, and you get to just be forced into whatever the state deems is necessary.
The lobbying group that lobbies for all of the billboard operators, they control all the advertising that you see on the sides of freeways and cities, bus stops. They learned about our project, you know, trying to elevate the voices and artists who are incarcerated to talk about slavery. They accepted us, they took our money, and then we worked for 8 long months. I don't think you understand how difficult it is to get artwork in and out of a prison with notes, but we did that.
Trying to send out anything out of a prison that you don't think a CO is going to approve of is very difficult. First, they're going to delay the mail. Things get lost in the mailroom all the time. COs keep things if they really like it. That happens.
The campaign was supposed to go live in December of 2023. We submitted the artwork in November. It was initially accepted. And then a week before it was meant to go live, we got an email that just said, we're not going to be able to give you guys the advertising space. And they wouldn't give us any sort of indication as to what was wrong with it. And you know what was wrong with it. We were advocating to end slavery in California, and they didn't want the heat for that. And so that's what led us to this project, was the censorship of voices that are used to being exploited and downtrodden and oppressed. And we are determined to make sure that their voices are heard.
Well, I was so excited that my work was going to be on the billboard, and actually I had told friends and family, and quite honestly, I'm going to say I was not surprised that they were not accepted.
So we're here at 1215 K Street, which is the location headquarters, putting the billboards on their fucking house. I hope you enjoy the billboards. We're not going anywhere, and we will be free.
Wasn't a surprise, but I think there was some glimmer of hope to think that maybe because we're free, like now we have access, like they can't do the same things that they did when we were incarcerated, but somehow we still have the same reality. They finally created something, they put it outside the walls of prison. It's finally their artwork is free, only to be told no.
You know, like freedom of speech ain't even free. For some of us, we can't even pay for the shit. We can't even buy time to actually have a voice. Man, I'm so glad that somebody can show the artwork and it had the artwork seen, because I think that in order to actually change, we got to have a culture shift.
Doing this installation is going to start a conversation. It means that they have to see us, they have to hear us, and they have to acknowledge us. That's really what it comes down to, is everybody talking about it and everybody, you know, collectively choosing to get involved. I feel like I should have the right And I think everyone has that right to cast my vote, whether I support slavery or not. Because in no way, shape, or form would I support slavery.